We do have some breaking news to bring you. We were building up to the launch of the Amazon owner Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket, and it's just been postponed for, we don't know exactly how long, but it won't be today. Delighted to say that bringing back on set to discuss the significance of this is Sinead O'Sullivan, Professor of Astrophysics. Sinead, so I guess we've seen quite a few delays over the course of the morning. They've now taken the decision to postpone it for longer. Is that a big blow to Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos, or do these things happen?
These things happen. These things happen all the time. Numerous reasons as to why. I think the important thing today is that they didn't launch prematurely. Rockets are extremely expensive. Unfortunately, they have a couple of days of a launch window left. Weather is not super favorable moving forward. SpaceX has launch preference from the 15th and 2 days onwards, so it's going to become a little bit trickier for them to launch in the kind of immediate future. The orbit that they're trying to get the rocket payload into is a very niche orbit. So that window won't come around again for a while. So it is a blow for people who are expecting and really excited to see, is there going to be a competitor to SpaceX in the near term? I think it will happen, just not probably today.
The technicalities that we're hearing is that there were some abnormalities during the mission countdown. Is that quite normal then, for it to be very, very last minute?
Yeah, because it's not until, you can do dry and wet rehearsal for launch, right? And cryogenically, these systems are very complex. Even during, while we've been waiting for the launch to happen, we've seen cryogenic boil off, all this kind of what looks like steam coming off that changes the pressure, changes the temperature, the nominal conditions of the rocket, making it harder when you eventually do go to launch to do that. And so during countdown, I guess, is when you start to really test the engines. 4 million pounds of thrust through 7 engines. You're starting to see real time some of the data that the rocket is producing. So from the perspective of Blue Origin, this is all success in that you have this data that you didn't have before. For viewers like us who are hoping to see such a massive structure being launched to space, it's more disappointing.
Just to wrap things up, Sinead, for our viewers, what exactly, what stage is Blue Origin at with its space technology compared to SpaceX or compared to others? Is SpaceX the clear leader? Is Blue Origin close behind or far behind?
Yeah, the technology is very similar. The architecture that both rockets propose is quite similar. SpaceX clearly has a huge advantage when it comes to what they've commercialized so far. The number of launches that they've, launched is greater than 0, which is kind of where Blue Origin is at the minute. Blue Origin are trying to get from 0 to 1 launch a month one launch a month, and then next year to double that, which is extraordinarily ambitious, but the hope is that with similar technology to SpaceX that they can catch up kind of quickly. There is, in this game, a second mover advantage, which is something that Elon Musk is going to start to be looking out for.
I have to say, Professor, I find this so fascinating, like this modern age space race. Because this would have been a really big moment for Jeff Bezos, trying to nip on the heels of Elon Musk.
Yeah, this launch in particular has been more than a decade in the making. Yeah, it's not only Jeff Bezos that was kind of looking at this. I think, again, we discussed earlier, some of the foreign leaders, some of the nation states that are hoping to launch sensitive defense satellites are probably looking at this and thinking, okay, it's nice to have a second option if we don't want to go with SpaceX. If we feel like Elon Musk is, potentially becoming a national security issue, is there an alternative? These are the conversations that we're hearing in agencies outside of the US and through defense departments. And so I think a lot of people were watching what we were hoping was going to be an exciting launch today and wondering, is competition in the space industry actually going to change some of the geopolitical dynamics that we're seeing?
Professor, great stuff. Thanks so much for joining us.